Hello, my name is Jimena Diaz, and this is for BE170. I will be talking about the development of the human mind from the ape mind in the last 2.5 million years. In the past 2 million years, the human brain has tripled in size. By analyzing the inside of ancient skulls and a few rare fossils, we are able to distinguish and study major changes the brain has endured in the past 2 million years. Of course, humans today are vastly different compared to an ape, but for the first two-thirds of human history, the size of our ancestors' brains was within the range of those of other apes living today. You may ask, why is studying the evolution and development of the human mind from the ape mind important? The study of primates can inform us about the evolution of the human mind, eventually predict common issues with disease or human tendencies, and help build hypotheses on what the human mind will evolve into in future years. To start off, in the article Current Directions in Psychological Science, B. Hare compares the human mind to the ape mind. He shares the social problem-solving skills alike in both, the social emotions associated in the human mind, and the process of our anatomy evolving. A study was done where chimpanzees were shown to share some abilities with humans in assessing the perceptual states of other individuals. The social emotions associated with the human mind are claimed to be the result of initial evolutionary changes in humans' emotional response to others, as seems to be the case with domestic canids. Next is the process of humans' anatomy evolving. B. Hare wrote, bonobos and chimpanzees share close to 99% of their genome in common with humans, meaning that their genomes are more similar to that of humans than they are to that of gorillas. However, it may be that bonobos, whose psychology is virtually unstudied relative to that of chimpanzees, are more similar to humans than are chimpanzees in how they solve various social problems. Next slide. LeMay, Billig, and Geschwind write in detail about the asymmetries found of the brain and skulls of non-human primates. This is probably the most interesting topic that I found while doing my research. There are many morphological asymmetries, and this article delves into a lot of information regarding the frontal lobe. The length of the sylvian fissure in the temporoparietal region in human brains, the length of the sylvian fissure has been found to be commonly greater on the left than the right. Studying a few non-human primate brains, scientists found the left fissure longer in the chimpanzee. The study goes to show the similarities in the anatomy of the brain, which helps support the idea of the evolution of the human mind from the ape mind. Also, the size of the frontal lobe, which is involved in motor function, problem-solving, spontaneity, memory, language, initiation, judgment, impulse control, and social and sexual behavior, there are significant differences in the surface areas of the frontal lobes between the two minds. The scientists wrote, the upper end of the central sulcus reportedly shows more variation in position than does the lower end. Studying photographs of the surfaces of a series of non-human primate brains, we found the lower end of the central sulcus to lie more posteriorly on the left than on the right in 9 of 12 pongo brains and in 5 of 7 papio brains, suggesting a larger frontal lobe on the left. Next slide. Sherwood, Subial, and Zawadzki detail the natural history of the human mind by tracing evolutionary changes in the brain and cognition. By writing about diet and social organization, social learning and traditions, and awareness, the authors complete this goal. This topic applies to this concept because it summarizes the evolution involved in the human mind compared to all species. Diet and social organization differ between the mind of the human and ape by the dietary and ecological variables and on cognitive specializations. Because of the generalized dental anatomy of living hominids, these species rely heavily on mature non-fibrous fruits with high sugar and calorie content. As a consequence of this diet, the great apes occupy a fairly narrow range of ecological habitats, being largely restricted to tropical and woodland forests. Next, social learning and traditions prove that the traditions of chimpanzees are by far the best documented and also appear to be the most widespread and diverse of any non-human primate species. Witten and colleagues reported 39 different traditions in various African chimpanzee communities that included tool use, grooming, and mating practices. This definitely proves a correlation between the human and ape mind. No other mammal or species is able to share that amount of intelligence relative to humans. And here are my references. Thanks